Hey everybody, this is Death by D4 and welcome to my guide on how to play as the Path of the Depths Barbarian subclass in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. There's a lot to go over, so be sure to subscribe and let's dive right on in. When you take this class at 3rd level, you get Gift of the Drowned Ones, which grants you a swimming speed equal to your walking speed and the ability to breathe underwater. This is pretty useful, admittedly. However, it's also very campaign dependent, as it won't really do anything for you if your campaign doesn't take you underwater. Still, one really good thing that you gain from this feature that it actually fails to mention is that you can now properly use any melee weapon while underwater. Yes, for those of you that don't know, any creature that lacks a swimming speed gains disadvantage on its melee attack rolls while underwater. That is unless it's wielding a dagger, javelin, short sword, spear, or trident. And considering that you're a barbarian and you'll want to be using the biggest and heaviest weapons that you possibly can, this really opens up your full potential for underwater combat. All in all, a really great feature to have, assuming that you actually get the chance to properly use it. You also get Dredgeline at 3rd level, which grants you an additional appendage of sorts when you enter into your rage. With your bonus action, you can use this appendage to strike out at one creature of your choice within 15 feet of you, and force it to succeed on a strength saving throw or be pulled 10 feet towards you. The DC for this check is equal to 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength modifier. Though highly limited in its range, this is actually a really useful feature to have, as it allows you to make good use of your bonus action by manipulating the enemy's position during combat. For example, you could use this to pull in out-of-reach enemies, or even to safely separate them from your allies. Heck, you could even use this on your allies themselves, as it actually doesn't deal any damage. Either way, this is definitely a really solid ability for you to have, and one that can offer quite a lot of potential utility for you and the rest of the party. At 6th level, you get Ghostwater Dive, which allows you to use your action to teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see. In addition, you can also make one attack when you do this, either doing it before or after you teleport. Oh, and to top it all off, this also doesn't provoke any opportunity attacks against you. Wow! This feature is just insane! Not only does this teleport not consume any of your regular movement speed, but you can do this an infinite number of times. Seriously, that's just nuts. You could even use your Dredgeline in conjunction with this. I mean, this is just an incredible feature, and definitely one that you should take full advantage of when you get there. At 10th level, you get Manifestations of the Deep, which allows you to pick one of 5 bonuses that you can swap out at the end of a long rest. With Eyes of the Deep, you gain the ability to cast True Seeing once per short rest. With Arms of the Deep, you gain 2 appendages when you rage, and can even grapple targets when you hit them with your Dredgeline. With Heart of the Deep, you can use your bonus action to gain temporary hit points equal to 1d12 plus your Barbarian's level once per short rest. With Soul of the Deep, you gain immunity to the Charmed and Frightened conditions. And finally, with Armor of the Deep, you gain a +1 bonus to your armor class. Wow! Though some of these options are definitely better than others, I'm looking at you, Arms of the Deep, the ability to just swap them out at the end of a long rest is just incredible for you, as it'll really allow you to best prepare yourself for whatever conflict you're about to head into. Either way, this is just another awesome feature for you to have, and one that you should definitely get a lot of use out of. Finally, at 14th level, you get Depth Charge, which forces all creatures within 10 feet of you when you emerge from your Ghostwater Dive to succeed on a strength saving throw. On a failed save, they take 3d6 force damage and are knocked prone, though on a successful save, they take half damage and aren't knocked prone. Oh, and were you expecting me to tell you of some sort of limitation with this ability? Well, guess what? There isn't one! Yep, you could do this an infinite number of times, just like with your Ghostwater Dive. Now, the damage isn't all that to get excited over, but the ability to just teleport in on top of your enemies and knock them all prone is actually nuts for you. Heck, with your Arms of the Deep feature, you can then use this to grapple 2 people at the same time and completely immobilize them on the ground. This is just an amazing feature, and definitely a worthy feature to cap things off with for this awesome subclass. Alright, so that does it for all the subclass features. Now onto just a few of my own personal recommendations concerning it. When you're picking a race for your Path of the Depths Barbarian, maybe just don't pick the likes of the Sea Elf or the Triton, as that would kind of be a terrible waste for you, honestly. Seriously, you're going to be gaining a swimming speed and the ability to breathe underwater anyway, so you might as well just pick another race that'll give you something more substantial. That said, if your campaign really demands for you to be able to swim before 3rd level, or you just want your character's theming to be consistent with their race, then just go for it. After all, I almost never concern myself with pairing a race to a class, so don't feel like you have to when doing it yourself. Now, as for feats, I feel it's worth mentioning just how useful Sentinel could be in this case, especially when you pair it with your Arms of the Deep feature. By using them in conjunction with one another, you can basically just lock down any one creature around you, making it almost impossible for them to actually escape from you. Yes, it doesn't entirely stop them from hurting your allies, but it does do a great job at keeping them away from them. And that's it. That's everything you need to know in order to play as a Path of the Depths Barbarian. Personally, I believe that this subclass is just awesome, and it really does add some fun new utility to what is otherwise a very straightforward base class. However, that's just my opinion. So what are your thoughts on the matter? Are you excited to give the Path of the Depths Barbarian a try? And if you have already, what was your experience with it like? Let me know down in the comments below. If you'd like to support the channel, be sure to give this video a like and consider supporting me over on Patreon. Patreon supporters gain access to my Patreon-only server over on Discord, where you can join in on my games and chat with me and other patrons about anything D&D related. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you haven't, and if you're interested in seeing more videos of mine, here's one right up over here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next video.